JDM crew. Yeah, I'm going to try to take this out into the farms a little bit just so that I'm not disturbing the neighbors. You could probably tell why. So today's episode happens to feature this here Mark II. And for those of you guys familiar with the Mark II, yeah, there's a couple different generations of that. And this one is a JZX100. And it is a manual swap. So yeah, we got that here. As you can tell, it's a little bit opened up a little bit, and while yeah, for some of you guys looking for our typical stock cars, this is not one of those. This is definitely in the realm of project status, and it'll be priced as so. It's probably way more negotiable than what you're usually used to seeing, but we did find this with one of our partner shops, and we're just like, wow, hey, yeah, where'd you get that? How much you want for it? So this one is, oh, pretty bumpy. There we go. Yeah, I do have coilover suspension all around. It's fully adjustable. We are slammed a little bit here with low profile tires, so I'm gonna feel it in my kidneys. And yeah, this truck here, we're just heading out into the farm, so it's a little quieter. We're not gonna disturb nobody. But those of you guys that do enjoy your sedans, this is definitely a good rear-wheel drive sedan. And we're enjoying some really nice autumn weather here, so heading on around lunchtime, so we shouldn't be running into too much traffic out here. And by the sound of it, I'm pretty sure we have an LSD. I'm not sure what the brand is, so there's a lot of parts here I'm not sure what the brand is, because we just don't know. The swap was definitely done. The chassis is fairly low mileage, around 100,000 as far as we know. The condition, as I'll show you underneath later, it's pretty good shape. A little bit of surface rust on some suspension components, but the chassis itself is real solid. Even the pinch welds on like the lift points that you would expect to be mashed, well, in this case, it's not really bad at all. Body kit is on here. The exterior, I am not sure if it was a pearl white or a silver. I believe the code on the chassis tells us it's white. And there is kind of an area where the paint came off, and I could tell that it is actually like that pearlish, whitish. Thought it was silver at first because of, you know, some of the under, like in the engine bay areas and under the hood. So they did paint this black. We got the Drift Mania sticker. Everybody's down with the Drift Mania. Actually, if you guys have seen some of the recent Formula Ds, pretty good action this year. We're actually heading into rally month pretty soon, in a couple of weeks, so. Gonna try not to make too much noise over here by the houses, but yeah, we'll be out in the farms here real soon. But yeah, in the interior, it's pretty decent shape. We do have the missing Navi system here, so the previous owner took that wherever he did. Yep. I got a little bit of traffic. Yeah, I don't want to bother these guys too much. And so yeah, we did have the fuel pump changed out, so we haven't had a full tune on this yet. But we do have random gauges on here. Some of them connected, some of them aren't. So if you have your own fuel management system, that'd probably be the way to go. And like I said before, this is definitely not stock, and it's not going to be sold or advertised in that condition at all. So for those of you guys looking for a 1JZ project, that's what we got here for you. And it's, with that straight pipe, it just sounds... Yeah, and I can hear the turbo spooling up real good there, so. Yeah, after it warmed up, I noticed it is definitely putting in a little bit more fuel there into the mixture. Definitely got to work on the timing. So it's some stuff our guys will be working on, but depending on what you want done to it, you can definitely get it more or less tuned, or you could just take it as is. So you can talk with our sales guys about that. But for the most part, everything's drivable on this one. It has been since we got it. It's just that, yeah, with the new fuel pump, it's holding the power better. They didn't go full out on the tune though, because we are not really sure what any of you guys might be interested in, or if you just want to do it yourself. So that's what we've got here. But yeah, you'll see the straight pipe underneath. This is a decent job. Because of how low it is in the back, it's kind of a little bit more scraped, as you would expect. But the chassis and the components for the suspension itself are not scratched up. It's pretty good. But that also tells me that they didn't really drive it a whole lot. So they were in the middle of the project while they were doing it. They just never got around to finishing it. So pass along those savings to you guys in this crazy market. And but things have been stabilizing a little bit, so keep an eye out. We should have some good deals and more projects like this as well. We've got a couple of Civics passing through, which I'll be telling you guys about in some other videos, so look forward to that. But yeah, let's head over to the yard again, and I'll show you around and show you some of these other parts that I was telling you about. Outside, we've got the black exterior, a decent interior, so you can go wherever you want with this. It's really, the world is your oyster at this point. So let's go fast forward over to that, and I'll be quiet here around the neighbors. I don't want to upset anybody. It's a nice quiet neighborhood. Well, how's it going, JDM crew? Welcome back to the channel for another inventory video. And here we do have a JZX100 Mark II. Really nice and spicy for those of you guys that like these sedans. And having that 1JZ 2.5 liter turbo zips through the RPMs real nicely. A lot of you fans already know what this is all about. And for those of you new here, yeah, those 1Js are really nice. 2Js, great, but the 1Js, there's just something really nice about having those zippy inline sixes that you just, it's irresistible basically. It's a lot of fun. And so this one, it's a little bit different from our usual finds. We actually got this one at a reasonable price. They have been actually getting more difficult to get at reasonable prices. And while this one, the reason for that is it's got a little bit of work done. It's actually got a transmission swap. And actually this is not the original paint. So I just thought I'd make you aware of that. So this is kind of given more of the project status. And it's a much better candidate for those of you guys that would like to get this platform and just go ham with it and make your next big race car, or VIP, just drop it, put a crazy sound system in there, like whatever you want to do. So this, by the way, is a custom exhaust. It's pretty much straight piped, so this is just really noisy. And you can see the Drift Mania stickers on there. So yeah, this is actually more or less set up for drift. I'll have a look inside. You can see it is a little bit modified. Most of the interior components are actually all right. No sag in the headliner, no weird smells. I just smell like regular car interior with a slight hint of JDM car freshener, so no mold or anything like that. So this one's been kept pretty good, but obviously they were making this into a drift project, but it's incomplete. Got this carbon fiber that's already yellowed up a bit. You could probably resurface this and put some fresh acrylic on there and just have it all really nice. That's at least what I would do. And so yeah, we do have a handful of gauges here. This one over here is the boost gauge. And you can see the shift knob and stuff. So that's not OEM, since this was a transmission swap. I'm not sure which one it is. You can check with our sales team. I'm not sure if we have the number on that one. And you can see that bride seat in there, or I'm not sure if it was a whole bride seat or just a bracket. But overall, yeah, the interior is actually pretty good. The only racing seat happens to be for the driver. Mark II labeling there. A little bit dusty. And yeah, I'll show you guys the trunk before I hop in to the engine bay, and I'll show you guys that. Alright, so it has most of the panels. It doesn't have the bottom part here, but if you want to get an idea, so for the most part, the chassis is in pretty decent shape. We're not having any pitting rust, maybe a few spots with some surface corrosion, but nothing pitting and flaking, so that's good. And the fuel pump was actually replaced recently, so that's actually pretty handy. So you don't have to worry about that unless you want to go with a much higher flow one. So let me just throw this back in here. But for the most part, like, the mods are not too crazy. I mean, we've got some suspension, which as I do the walk around, you'll see. And I mean, other than the exterior paint being changed, is not too crazy there. Just a nice gloss black put on there. But I keep mentioning the project status, and that's also because, like, right here, the paint did flake off, and that's because it's not actually that great of a paint job. It was actually, it looks fine. This is the original silver, so they basically just like cleaned it and put it on there. So they were definitely gonna do something with this. And I mean, in general, it's just set up like with the transmission and the suspension, a little bit on the braking and stuff too. Those were all just kind of beefed up for drift. I'm not sure about the rear differential. It does grab pretty decently, but it is, I'm not sure which brand it is, so I do apologize. I'll probably double check with the sales team on the status of that, but I was not told anything else about that. So yeah, overall looks pretty good underneath. Alrighty, so we've got her up on the lift here, and as you can see, it's definitely modified. We do have this straight pipe, so depending on local emissions regulations, you might want to get that checked. But if you like it loud and you're going to be on the track, this is ready. So, yeah, so just a little bit of dirt, a little bit of surface corrosion as you would expect. Right here, got a couple of hits with that straight pipe there. So it is nice and low, as you can tell here. So modified suspension all around. Those coilovers, so they are adjustable, so you can tailor them as you see fit, if you need it for comfort or for maximum response. And there's the rear diff. I'll just take you around here to the edges, so you can kind of see where there would be usually some, maybe some pinches and stuff like that. That area actually looks good. So not all smashed up as you might find on some. So yeah, with the body kit and everything and being lowered, it's actually in pretty okay shape there. And we'll get back to this transmission here in a minute. That is a swap, so. Now for being lowered, I probably would expect additional mods on the agenda, especially if you're setting this up for drift, so you can have better turning radius for those slides. But all in decent shape there. And you can see the front mount intercooler there, and some of the plumbing goes underneath. Alright, so yeah, I'll examine this a little bit closer for you guys that are curious about the swap. I'm not exactly sure which transmissions was swapped with, but it is a 5-speed. Not really sure of the serial numbers or anything like that, or any parts that were added in there. But for a lot of Mark IIs and Chasers, yeah, a lot gets swapped over, so this would be one of those swaps. What's popular is people often go for the 6-speed, but we have a 5-speed in here, so still good. Alright, so here we are at the engine bay, and of course those hydraulics are definitely out, so got the little post here to help me. And but we got the beautiful 1JZ here, good old 2.5 liter rev happy engine there, and as you can see it's not heavily modified on this end, so we do have some better flow and a slightly better tune on it as well. It's running pretty peppy actually. Now, things I'd probably do, I'd probably recommend getting an aluminum radiator, get a 2-row in there, get some good stuff, you know, get that cooling up. Maybe some, you know, get a strut bar, get some other things on there to help support, because they did upgrade the suspension, so I'd probably just beef up the chassis stuff a bit. This is a pretty hefty sedan, so as you can see, for the most part, yeah, it's just slight mods on the airflow, so you just have intake, exhaust. Exhaust is pretty much straight piped out, so this thing's got some really high flow, so even with that bigger intercooler, it just zips through the RPMs real nicely. And for those of you looking for some additional information, I'll try to get those. There we go. You can see those numbers there. And here you go to verify any additional info you'd like to know. So you can also confirm what the original color was there and everything. Having some trouble focusing. But you can definitely see signs of it being a project car with the way that the painting was just kind of done on top of the original silver color. So, but if you'd like it to be changed to something else, just ask our sales team, and we can definitely work with the shops that we know in the area and get you a really nice paint job on there. Or if you like it at that black that we have here now, yes, that's fine too. I think I'll take care of these in a little bit though, because they are definitely fogged over from age and oxidation there. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's nice. See, definitely just needs a little bit of love. Well, there you have it, guys. This is an interesting addition to our inventory, and while a lot of you do look for the as original as possible JDM finds, I know some of you guys have requested various condition projects from us, things that you've seen online or had us check out and we've been able to source for you. And in this case, yeah, the prices have been going up on these JZX100s, but we were actually able to get this at a fairly reasonable price, so we're able to pass that savings on to you. Especially for you project guys, this is definitely it. But if you're looking for something more original, definitely not for you. But this is rather interesting and a lot of fun. Definitely, I think we could do something with this, but if you guys don't pick it up, I'll probably do something with it. So yeah, let's have some fun. Definitely would like to head up to Mahon and hit the drift track. Well, as always guys, thanks for stopping by, and if you have any questions about this or any other vehicles, hit us up, info@jdm-expo.com, and you can also hit us up Facebook, Instagram, Twitter DMs. They all go to our sales team and they'll get back to you within about 24 hours. Shipping has been clearing up globally, so that's a good thing. You know, hopefully things are opening up pretty well where you're at. Japan's opening up, so we'll probably see you guys in the coming months whenever you're visiting. And stay safe wherever you are. And definitely, if you have any questions about the process, we've got you covered. And if you're looking for anything in particular, just don't hesitate to ask, and we'll see what's available. Alright, so it's looking pretty slick there though, don't you think? Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Take care.